So many things I love about Red Hook. I love the food, the farms, the soil's amazing, amazing soil here.
I love Red Hook just because of the people. They're common, ordinary people in an uncommon, ordinary way.
This is a town that has run on countless hours of volunteer effort.
Wonderful people live here. Welcoming, wonderful people. When my wife and I moved here in 1979, we knew no one. We were part of a very, very minute political and religious minority. We were two Jewish Democrats from New York City, and Red Hook was probably 99% Christian and 99% Republican, and we were welcomed with open arms, and we've made friends for a lifetime here. Our kids have had wonderful education in Red Hook School. It's just a wonderful place to live and to raise your family. It really is a wonderful place.
All the way, Jules.
We live down in the southern part of the district of Dutchess County, and we moved up here because my husband got a job up here, IBM.
I was born on the old Crockwell farm north of Red Hook in 1938. My parents owned the farm and had come up from Brooklyn in the early 1930s. Since I was born on that farm, I've lived here really all my life, except for some years when I was in government service and away in school. But Red Hook has always been my home and will always be my home.
Dick Baywright married Carlene Stockenberg, who was Baywright now, in 1959 at good old St. Paul's Lutheran Church, and our reception was at the great Red Hook Inn.
You get to see other parts of the world. I've been around a little bit, and I always came back to the Hudson Valley. And I mean, as far as the town of Red Hook goes, I've not ever found a place that's more attractive physically. And of course, the people in Red Hook have always, warmed my heart.
The people are wonderful. They really are. I've met so many great people that in a short amount of time have really become great friends and companions and just people to have a lot of fun with. People from all over, people who have lived here since the beginning of time and people who moved here even after I did. But everyone has the same like-minded attitude that Red Hook is a very, very special place.
Well, we've been here since about '74, I think, when we first started looking around this area. We liked Red Hook when we saw it. It was really nice houses and nice big lots. And we didn't realize at the time it was because there was a large violet industry here, and a lot of the lots were large because they had to make room for greenhouses. But it led to really nice sized lots. And we had looked in Rhinebeck, but there they had big houses and small lots, so we kind of liked Red Hook.
When I graduated from law school, I was offered two jobs in the Office of Court Administration, one in Brooklyn and one in Wingdale. And my wife was working for the State of New York Mental Hygiene Department. And she said, look, my husband may be transferred up to Wingdale because I wanted to get out of the city. I'd been a police officer there, I'd lived there for 23 years, and I had it with the city. No offense to people in New York City. But, so they said, well, better than offering you a transfer to Poughkeepsie, we'll offer you a promotion in Albany, they said to my wife. So we took out the map and said, what is halfway between Albany and Wingdale? And they said, well, it's this place called Red Hook. And that's how we ended up here. We were very fortunate to do so because it's been a terrific, terrific 32 years.
Our youngest son was really the one that brought us here because he started working at the old Rhinebeck Aerodrome, which is in Red Hook, incidentally. And then in the winter, he came up here to ice boat. And he'd made the acquaintanceship of the Aldridge family, Ricky Aldridge, who was a great ice boater. And so he spent his winters up here. So we thought, well, the other children have all grown up and moved away into other, let's follow Reed and look for a place that he will enjoy living. So we found a house that had a barn behind it that he could put a workshop in.
We came here from all over, starting from Ohio, to New York City, to Detroit, and then finally ended up here in Red Hook. We've been here ever since, in our first house that we've ever bought.
I am hooked on Red Hook. I've always been hooked on Red Hook. I mean, who wouldn't be? Red Hook started out as a beautiful community, and it continued on, and I went to school here. My grandparents, my parents, my children, and my grandchildren are all products of the Red Hook Central School System. And we've all thrived very nicely. Red Hook's a wonderful community, a great place to raise children.
There's nothing like our school system. It's this extraordinary commitment to education, and the teachers we've had over the years, over the decades, have been extraordinary. And I think that continues.
A lot of people come to the community for the school district.
I'm Winter Aldrich. I've been for 35 years, more or less, the town historian, and I love this place. I've lived here all my life. I certainly feel very strongly about the town and the relationship of village to the surrounding communities, the agriculture here that has been so rich and so important for so very long.
My two boys went through the 4-H, and I think it's great to show the younger people agriculture and how to survive with agriculture.
We bought an old house that had some land on it, and the first thing we did was to put in a compost area, and I've always been growing vegetables.
Red Hook is special. It's not a high-hat place. We won't name others that might be a little bit more like that, and it's not sort of a freak show of a place, and there are others we could name that are like that. It is just a down-home town with a relationship of commerce in the villages and transportation on the highways and on the back roads and down on the river, and with the railroad that goes through here and used to stop, no longer does, maybe someday it will.
I think one of the things that I really like about Red Hook is we're really looking for the future and what we can do as a community for the future. And we've been very encouraged by all kinds of people here in the village. Those have been here for generations and those just starting out, but everyone seems to have a very strong sense of community here, and you know, it's good when we're raising our family, it's good for the schools, it's just good for everything, and so we're very appreciative of, I guess, the people and the sense of community that we do have here.
We have some great volunteers here. You look around at the various sports teams, the scout troops, both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. You look at the Friends of the Library, the Friends of the Elmendorf here. You know, Red Hook thrives and is a great community because of our volunteer base.
And when I moved here, I wanted to be involved with the community. As you can see, I'm wearing a t-shirt from that time. Many years ago, we had a poster done, and this was the corner of the village of Red Hook, and that was used by New York State for their poster. And just enjoyed living here.
It has the core values, the hometown, small town atmosphere, and these days that we're having now, celebrating Hardscrabble in the spring, our Apple Blossom Day, and of course our bicentennial coming up in 2012, are just fabulous. And what a way to bring Red Hook together into a nice cohesive entity and showcase our lovely village we have here, which we're so proud of.
It's a special community. Everybody works together and helps each other out. I think it's a great place to be.
People here really have a local viewpoint, but they know a lot more outside of the local area. So it brings an intelligence that is uncommon for common people.
Great people here. It's a great community. And when I came here, I was looking for a home with lots of great community, and totally found that here in Red Hook.
I've never found a place better than Red Hook.
I've been all over. I've been to a lot of different areas, but it's always nice to come home to Red Hook.
It's the people, essentially, who have been here and who come here to live and retire to Red Hook, and the people who are making a new Red Hook for themselves and for us and for our descendants. A Red Hook that's going to be even more respectful of the natural environment and the cultural heritage of this place. And it's a tremendously exciting thing for me to see. And I just wrap my arms around this community and everyone who dwells herein. I love it.